Okay.
It's real.
So good morning. We'll
Good
pretend like
morning.
we haven't been talking for the last 10 minutes. I'm so excited to have you here. For those of you who don't know, I'm Stephanie Swilley. I am the founder of Creative Nexus, and we have with us here today C, who is a multidisciplinary artist based out of New York. And I'm so excited for you to learn more about his work and the kind of his belief system, his support of community and accessibility in art. I think he will definitely be very exciting for many of you to connect with. I know that his outlook on things really will align well with most
Maybe.
of us. So, see if you would like to just kind of start off, give us a little background of who you are and what you're doing, what your focus is.
I guess at this point, I'm an artist, really figuring out like how to focus 100% on my art and my craft. Uh, I've been doing art my whole entire life, pretty much. Like I've been selling stuff since I was like 20. And the real thing with art came to me when I turned 40. I decided to work in art full time. You know what I mean? I just finished running a radio station for 10 years. Like we just finished that last year. And I'm still in a space of not fully processing what it was like to run a radio station, to be a broadcaster and all the things that came with it. So as an artist, I just like when I turned 40, I was like, you know what do I want to do that I totally enjoy for me? And I said, you know what, make art. And of course, what's built into that is a community kind of like thing. I always find a way to be able to use my life as an example and also create opportunity based upon the life that I live and experience that I have with art or the other things that I've done. So I said, well, let's paint. Let's paint. And actually, one of the first things I did is a series of pieces, like these studies called ink blottage. And it was just ink on like photo paper. And it's like this weird chemical reaction. It was like black and white for a while. And then gradually I came into making larger pieces because they were like 4x6 pieces. And then I made larger ones. And then I incorporated different color inks. And then I started to do acrylic and whatnot. So I ended up with like 60 plus pieces, sold a lot of them. But it was the engineering for me to be like, okay, you have to make something every day. You have to create every day. And part of the way I as an abstraction, artist for the most part of the way I approach everything is to not try and to just have these experiences, you know what I mean, without judgment, you know what I mean? And like a lot of it's just a test for me. All that subconscious stuff comes out and, you're sitting with yourself in a studio and you're challenging yourself around color and all kinds of other different things. But I basically decided at 40 to be an artist full time. It's really had to discover what that truly means. And a lot of people don't know like all the things that you need to do, no matter if you do it independently, no matter if you're an outsider, no matter if you're trying to approach a gallery. There's just a lot of things you have to be prepared for in order to make it your livelihood, make it your living. But yeah, I'm an artist of many facets. Long before that, I did music for about 15 years. And then I stopped doing that. I took like a pause. I ended up starting a radio station with two other people. And that's different. I can't even explain to you what that's like because not everybody runs a radio station. As far as an experience. But doing that though actually just it gave me a brand new other kind of skill set and whatnot. And it's very helpful because I've always been keen on the importance of communication. So my communication skills continue to get better and increase and kind of go out this way, being a broadcaster and having to be a leader of teams and having to talk to broadcasters and engineer and all this other stuff. So it helps so much in being an artist that's not really concerned about, my style of technique or being the best, or just being more known for providing opportunities and being a mentor and all that other stuff. The communication aspect has been so much important to what I do and how I do it. But yeah, so yeah, I do so much other shit, and it's interesting, and it's like it's weird when you ask because it's like I don't even like to think about it because I've never been a person who liked to document and do the whole resume thing. I've
Right.
not cared about it at all. Like I think the last time I wrote a resume or a bio, a real bio for myself was like 15 years ago at that. And I had to do it because, I need to put something out there. And I think I was getting flown somewhere to talk. So it's like, that's the only time it matters to me to like
Right.
recount my experiences. It's like, all right, it might be a check and I have to force myself to write something so they know. Other than that, I don't care. I think I answered the question.
No, you're great. I'm a firm believer in there are no wrong answers.
Okay.
Um, like I, in my day job, I do actually write resumes. That is my day job. So this is wonderful. I love being able to help people figure out what their story is and tell their story. And
Yeah.
I think the best way to do that is really just to let people talk because
Right.
what you land on is what's important.
Right. Right.
If it didn't occur to you, it wasn't important. Like it's just
It's radio 101. You just let them speak and then let that guide the interview. You know what I mean? Because someone to say something, if you're actively listening, you'll be like, oh, okay. And now we'll go here. And now we'll go here. You know what I mean?
exact,
You know.
exactly. And speaking of like the idea of you being coming from a music background, as I mentioned before we started recording, I also come from a music background.
Right.
My husband he teaches music composition. So like
Okay.
this is very, very much part of my thought process.
Hmm.
Because when I started with visual art, he was my teacher. Like when I was like, I
Mm.
have an idea and I'm trying to figure out how to get it out.
Right.
What do I do? He guided me through things. So whether or not I approach art from like visual art from a normal path, I don't know
Whatever that
because
means.
I
Yeah.
have no formal education in visual art. But so I'm curious for you if you see, how much you pulled from that music background as you started exploring things in visual art, how you, if you see any overlap or if you're pulling from that side of the creative process at all.
I think everything I do is in a kind of stream of conscious way. You know what I mean? I mean, even my name C, the original, is comes from stream of conscious. So like, let's go back. So 2000 was probably the first time. 99, 2000 was when I first started to get on stage,
Mhm.
and I was doing poetry. This is back when Def Poetry Jam was on TV. Saul Williams' movie Slam had come out. And like poetry was like, it's in movies and whatnot, and everybody's like, but we're really doing this. I just missed the Tea Party in New York City, which was this big event at the Brooklyn Moon. And I came in the tail end of that. So I'm doing New York Poetry Cafe. There's a spot in Harlem called a Sugar Shack. Uh, and all this is relevant because the form of art that I make, and I still call it's kind of stream of conscious, everything that I would do. That was the name that I had on stage. The way I wrote was stream of conscious. And then like even as a hip hop artist, for a time, a lot of people go through this whole thing. It's like, it was like Jay-Z said he never wrote anything down and Biggie didn't write anything down. A lot of people don't write things down. My form of creation was kind of like that. Like it was almost like a freestyle with just jotting down these thoughts that came. So I've never really thought out things too much. And that's kind of how I make art. You know what I mean? So like the relation to my music is literally the relation to all the things that I create. I mean, even earlier this year, the first and only show that I did was like a photography show. I took New York to Connecticut and kind of like an installation on this huge brick wall at this distillery. And even in that, like I had pre-prepped these 18 by 24 large street photography pieces in these frames, and I damaged the frames and whatnot. I was trying to make it look like what New York, the train stations look like, the tagging and stuff like that, but then also like the papers and the flyers and all that to make this wall. So when I get to the space, I hang the pieces, But now I have all this paper. I have all this debris that has to go up. So in real time, stream of conscious, I'm placing these things. So people are actually watching me as I do it. So like all my art is the same. So I just recently did like a talk with my people in Kenya. Kiji Sana is a really beautiful organization, arts organization in Kenya. And they just started doing this thing with this group called Telephone. I can't remember exactly, but I'll give you the links and everybody can go check it out because I think everyone should. Because there's this international thing where basically artists play together in a live stream. You get a prompt, and everyone makes something based off the prompt. So in the same way, I'm on a live for an hour with the people in Kenya. They're literally outside making art. We're all making from the same prompt. I'm talking about the process of making the piece that I'm making in front of everyone, and then also telling my story about art. But it's all stream of conscious. It is all improv, with a little bit of information that, of course, I'm playing with. So the music definitely has always been that way, and the art continues in that form. It's just creatively, that's how I make it, no matter what shape, form, or the thing is, or the little bit of knowledge that I have, even in terms of like the brainstorms or coming up with ideas or talking on the radio for 10 years. It's really a stream of conscious. It's like sitting in the back, and then these pieces of information, they come as they make sense, and I'm making sense out of them in real time. I can't explain the science of it because I do not know it, but I definitely know it is a thing. And a lot of people are doing it. They're just not aware of it. But yeah, the music, and I would say also just being very asymmetrical, atypical of what people, are used to or try to do, like my fighting against the formula or fighting against the rules, not caring about the color wheel. All of this stuff is like abstract. It's coming out of me the way it wants to come out, and I'm not fighting it. You know what I mean? And then we analyze what came out, So like the music and the art, all same. They're all blurred together no matter what I do.
That's beautiful. I think for a lot of us who did not adopt and accept like the idea of stream of consciousness, when we were
Mm,
younger, like it's hard to get back to that. It's
right,
hard to get out of your head. It's hard to trust your intuition of I can do this. I don't have to plan it.
right.
I can just let it happen. Has this always like, I know you mentioned it's in all of your art and you've been doing art forever. Like, have you ever come to a point where it was like, oh, I'm so in my head, I can't, I can't go back to it, or is it just
Not really,
an
not with
innate
art,
practice?
not with art, not with art. And I think as I can continue to grow with artists and understood what I wanted to do, I decided that I would never let anything derail my creative process. The only thing that stopped me in the last 2 years, they say, what is it? The dark night of the soul, midlife crisis, all these different things. I do very high intense, at times, like internal work, you know what I mean? Like self work, a lot of trauma healing and shit like that. Cause we all got something in the background that we don't know. And fortunately for us, some of us, our behaviors don't, uh, appear terribly in the world. We're not like terrorists and all kinds of wild stuff because of our trauma. You know what I mean? It just may cause our own hangups and keep us from really being self-actualized the way we want to, because we're like fighting against these demons, so to speak. Um, I forgot what I was saying. What was the question again? I'm sorry.
Um, oh, you were talking about the times when I think you're doing your deep work,
Oh, so
and it
yeah.
impacting your stream of consciousness, getting in your head and everything.
Oh yeah, so not getting in my head. Yeah, I just decided I wouldn't, and it's not something that I want to do. But the only time that I did get in my head was in the last 2 years because I was facing a lot of challenges. I dug up a lot of stuff, and there's a conversation about building systems so that you can mitigate any damage that comes from the purge. Because like a lot of things come up, but if you're not prepared for the battle of what those things are, like family stuff, old things that you never thought about, but now they're in your face. If you don't build systems like breath work, somatic this or whatever, you know what I mean? So that you can not be in physical pain, because a lot of times you draw up these things and now they're just living in emotional senses of your body. It's just living in your body. So now you got to go get acupuncture, or you got to go get some deep tissue massages to like get it fully out of you. You got to find a yoga practice or run or jog or do deep, breath work. The only time that I ever really had that things get in my head is because now I'm subject to all this other stuff coming to me because I'm almost kind of weak. I'm at a place of detriment because I've done this digging up and I'm trying to heal from it. And it might make me go, why am I even doing this? I don't do this. Let me just stop doing art. This is the only time I ever had, but none of those thoughts were mine. And I recognize that. That's the process of like letting go of a thing or whatever. And now I'm back to normal. At this point, I'm back to like, yeah, nah, there's no way in hell I'm not going to do art. And I know I'm going to be on this planet a good another 45, 50 years. So I got to work on this misery shit and this suffering stuff and this internal things that needs to be handled, because I'm not going to be miserable, for the next half of my life. That's crazy. It's like insane.
Yeah. Do not let
But
that
yeah,
stick around.
yeah.
For sure.
But I don't have like I see what people talk about on social media, and I'm like, I come from this place of privilege where I'm just different when it comes to a lot of what people may suffer. It's not to say that I don't have my own things. It's just they don't look like everybody else's. They really don't. And I have to remember that. I have to be mindful. I have to give people grace, because at some point I feel like I did kind of get a little bit of a cheat code in life, because things that people were suffering from, I wasn't, and I feel really good about my art and my life, and I'm grateful and stuff. So like, it's different when you're scrolling and like everybody is, and you're not. You're like, oh my God.
And it's such an exercise to put yourself in their shoes, especially when they're shoes that like you can't even imagine wearing.
I don't want to wear them shoes. I don't need to wear your shoes. I could care about you. I don't need to wear your dirty shoes.
Right.
Like I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm really good on wearing other people's shoes. And honestly, like that's a whole other thing. So like you have empathy, and empathy is not one thing. It's like a list of different ways to be empathetic. But I know for me personally, I get kind of tired of like, wear another person's shoes thing, because I'm like, I don't really need to wear holy shoes. I see your shoes got holes in them. I don't need to wear them to understand that that's uncomfortable and to care. You know what I mean? So like even the formulation of how we relate these things about caring for others, and we just got to reform and reshape what we be saying, because sometimes it's ridiculous. I'm like, listen, no, I can clearly see you need help, and I can choose whether or not to help you. You know what I mean? Or provide a solution or whatever. Like I really don't have to take on. And part of the issue with a love is we spend a lot of times, what's the word? See, I just lost the word. It'll come back to me at some point. I don't need to wear your shoes. I can see your shoes are terrible. You know what I mean? And I can choose to care and help you. Or I can also understand that something might not be in my purview, so I don't make any promises for what I can do for you. I can just listen.
Right.
And and then there's this whole thing, the difference between help and support. And a lot of people want to be helpful, but they don't understand what support is. Support is letting the person lead how they need to be supported, versus you saying, I want to help, and your shit ain't helpful.
Exactly.
So now here we go in a therapy session instead of an art conversation. But anyway.
No, like to me, I think that's so bad, because, especially when we talk about community and anything else like that, like I think so many of us come at it from like, there's one way to do this. I see the solution and I'm going to give you the solution. And if you don't follow this solution, then it's all on you. When it's like, well, but that solution is not going to work for everybody. Not everybody's in the same place. Not everybody needs the same things. Not everybody can do like everybody has a different capacity. Everybody has different values, different goals, it's not a one size fits all. And I
No,
think
not
that's
at all.
something that we see a lot, especially with online business, anything.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to tell you, here's my formula. This is how you do.
Right.
But I think what we need to do is very in line with what you've done such a marvelous job of in your life is just learning to trust ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And
Definitely.
that comes from support. That comes from people going, I trust you. And I will
Right.
trust you while you work on, while you work on finding how to trust yourself. I
Right.
will
Right.
I'll believe in you when you've forgotten to believe in yourself
Mm-hmm.
so that nobody drops it. Like
Right.
that belief is always there. I'll pick it up when you can't.
Right.
I think that's such a hole in much of our society, but especially in the creative practice, like
Mm-hmm.
feel, like you were saying, you're in your studio, it's just you.
Right.
It's just you. You can get so isolated from
Mm-hmm.
community, from the rest of the world, and you get stuck in, you've got your little screen that's
Mm-hmm.
your connection to the outside world.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, everything's so horrible.
Mm-hmm. And part of the reason why I do what I do is you got to do it not in the little screen, but in the world. Like you got to go out in the world, and constantly have these interactions with real human beings, because when you look online, our default in general is kind of negative anyway. But then the tools narrow in on specific things, and a lot of times it's whatever you see in the doom scroll.
Mm-hmm.
Go outside, go have real interactions and remember what life is like with human beings and what experience is like, and sharing and seeing people be excited about art or a process or learning. And that will shake you out of that not reality that's in your phone. It's like people are really doing things in the world. Like go see some art in person. Like put your body near something huge. You know what I mean? Like even when you go to see a piece of work that's huge, like that, I don't think people even realize a lot of times like what that's like, like how your body responds to something in the present, or having to navigate around it. I just went to some show the other day, and it was like ceramics and some like textile stuff. This artist was insane. But then it was like it almost looked like a little temple thing. They had built this wooden structure, and you had to go into the structure. And I'm like 6 feet, not that tall, but it's tall enough to have to bend down for certain shit.
Mm-hmm.
I bend down and you go inside, and it's a couple of pieces of ceramic work. It was really interesting. It was like body separated and stuff. I couldn't even tell you. But you can't get that on the phone, even if you use the AR, augmented reality tool, and you
Oh,
just kind of went around and saw it. No, your body
right.
being in connection with the art and things like that. So like the phone ain't the place. The place is outside, to pick up, to hold something, to touch something. You know what I mean? You know how people say, oh, so satisfying. It's like, it's so satisfying to use multiple senses in the real world, when we forget that. And it's necessary, you know.
Absolutely.
And it brings you back. The word that I was looking for was internalize. So you tend to internalize so many other feelings and so much other stuff that's not of yours. So having this discernment of like, are these even my thoughts?
Right.
Are these my feelings? Like, no, like I just watched 1,000 people suffer and I feel it.
Mm-hmm.
So even in that, as an artist trying to find, or a human being trying to find a process that helps you come off of that and get back to yourself, you know what I mean? That's some
Awesome.
other shit. That's other work that I've done and I do.
I love
Get back to your body.
I so I'll say I love the reminder of like how being in it, like the visceral reaction, because it is different when you're
That's
there
way
as
different.
a person. Um, like obviously being in New York, being in Brooklyn, like you've got everywhere. Like you
Yeah,
can
we've got a
just
lot.
like I am in Iowa.
Right.
So
Yeah.
like we have I'm luckily in one of the actual, like, we were big enough to be on the map
Okay.
towns, but that means like we still have less than 100,000 people between our two neighboring cities.
Yeah,
So there's still not a lot, and it's going to be, uh, 200 miles to get to the next thing.
that's
Um,
far.
yeah. So it's hard. Like, so for me, for my family, like we make it a point, each summer we take a trip somewhere and we always
Hmm.
make sure that we are experiencing something. But what I do and what I think a lot of other more rural artists end up doing is, just go go outside because like nature is art.
Right.
Like go stand in the big trees because
Hmm.
much like, an installation you have to crawl into, like it will remind you
Hmm.
how small you are and
Hmm.
how small everything is. Like,
Right.
and just give you that perspective of like go touch the bark. Like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah.
more than pixels. there's
Right.
there's more to life, and I think just being and experiencing, and I'm sure like for you, um definitely there's a wide variety of what kinds of things you get to experience, whether
Right.
it's visual arts or, poetry or uh,
Hmm.
music, like, and that goes for all of us too. Like, I think it also expands into just being a part of the community because
Right.
community activities and stuff are art also.
Right.
Go to the festival, go to,
Go to the open studios,
yes.
go to the fairs if they exist. And honestly, the other thing about being, so like people talk about opportunities and all this stuff. Opportunities come when when you're outside or
Mhm.
when you're highly engaged. So like even if you're not outside, if there are 5 people on threads that you really like, just all agree to do a Google Meetup because at the end of the day, you have community there. You have a symposium of people in a space that you control. Then all kinds of things happen because now you have a direct conversation, and out of that direct conversation comes inspiration and a brainstorm or whatever. And you get to know people a little bit more than just like the 300 characters. So we have the technology that affords us the ability to make the connections. If we cannot make them in person offline, you can still make them in person online and they can be directed. You know what I mean? And then, as you build it, like you said, well, every month we're going to have a art share or we're going to have an art conversation. You just keep building on top of that. And it's like, that's an amazing thing. At the end of the day, it's about communicating with another human person who's had multiple experiences that are not of your own, and you can
Mhm.
share those experiences to help nurture in your career or your communities or whatever. And for me, it's just a natural. I've been doing this for so long, so like, okay, let's do technology to do it. And also, I've felt like sad in ways because I have this technology, but I was trying to get people that wanted to use it like me. You know what I mean? The same way. I'm like, yo, we literally can just talk right now and get off the thread of the doom
Right.
scroll and just have a real conversation. You know what I mean? Like just recently, I had somebody came to the art compound, who's a creative, really beautiful singer and just like an activist in her own right, tremendous human being, um, come to our space. I share what happens in the space so people can see it, so they can see they can do the same thing. Like
Mm.
get a space. You're not gonna let everybody into your space, but let a few people. That's how you build a thing. And then the conversations happen. When my younger folks come over and they telling me what they're going through at this gallery or somebody treated their art, I'm like, what happened? Okay. So my first thought is, how do I solve that problem? That's in the back burner. Then they come back and we have a conversation. And he said, well, we can do this and we can do that. And no one to ever do that again to your art at a spot. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
The whole thing is like just yeah, connecting with people,
Yeah.
and being able to do it and making it just your regular, your routine. You know, a lot of people are like, oh, I can't do this, I'm introvert and all that. I'm like, well, then you know what? Either you have to decide that you need to change that and a way to do it, or you're not. But I'm not gonna have this conversation with you every time. You know, I'm like, here's some things that you can do. Here are
Yeah.
some other people. And also, like, go find an introvert that was once an introvert, but all of a sudden started the most amazing thing that you
Yeah.
wouldn't think an introvert started. You know, so like study those things. Like, I don't know
Right.
how, but some like 1,000 people did. Are you? So find out how they did it. You know,
And
reach out to them, get in that DM, talk to people. Like, how the fuck did you do it? Because I know you be talking about you can't stand people, you don't like to talk to people, but you just created the most amazing network. How did you find the space to do it? You know, being able
and
to ask these questions is important. You know what I mean? Get out of your skin, ask people how they did it so that you could do it too.
and remember, like it goes back to there's no wrong answer. There's not one way
No,
to do it.
hell
Um,
no.
because I am an introvert and I am a typically I would be the person who wears the shirt hell as other people. Like I am not a people person at all. Not
Could
it's
have fooled me.
well, I have many years of pretending, but there's there's the I think there's the mental mindset of like I don't like people, I'm an introvert, I just want to be alone. Okay,
Yeah,
you can do that for like 80% of the time,
right.
but it's not
20%.
sustainable for that to be all of the time. And
No.
that's why like I have really horrible social anxiety in person
Mm,
or in large groups.
right.
So Creative Nexus is small and we meet
Mm-hmm.
online where I
Right.
can have like my emotional support cat with me
Mm-hmm.
and like
Right.
I do it in a way that is accessible to me.
Right.
I
Right.
know that those meetings where everybody, where we talk about what's hard, where we talk about what's exciting, when we have people who, have a science background who just
Right.
an info dump, like I just read the coolest study. Okay, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right.
that's like, I have a stack of books that I sit there and read because I'm an introvert and I like reading books. Um,
Right.
but I can also have a conversation with somebody, or more accurately, let them info dump on me
Right.
for 30 minutes. And I'm like, I didn't even have to read the book. I got
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
that.
And in the case that you're a person that learns better from it being regurgitated and told by, like for me, studying, I learned so much about like just finance and money and stuff like that. Like retaught myself as an adult everything about finance, right? I even had this platform called Hood Market 101. This is an adult sharing his experience of relearning finance at the age that I was. But the way I was learning was like I would read about the thing, get that definition, then I watch three different people talk about it.
Mhm.
So by the time I got to the third person that, their angle of discussion, and then I turned around and I told it back to someone, I was able to teach it to someone. Now that's just part of my so
Yeah.
like being able to learn in that way, versus just like the book, because some people just don't do well with like going through the books and studying and taking notes. Because we never really got taught how to study and take notes in an effective way. Because long after we got out of school, we found out half of that was wrong, and that's why none of it stuck. So you're like, oh, but now we have all this stuff that tells us how we can do it and how we can level up and how we can retain the information. There's like really no reason not to be able to at this point. The common denominator is us and facing whatever is blocking us from actually wanting to grow, learn, and expand. But unfortunately, because of the way we are, we can get online and we can find somebody to complain about the same thing, and we can just get stuck and trapped in the echo
Yep.
chamber talking about the same shit and never grow. You know what I mean? And with
Exactly.
all this access to information, with all of this like amazing, life changing for other people who figure it out, information. We all have the same internet. We're all on the same internet. That's what my creative partner says. We're all on the same internet.
Exactly.
So what's going on with you?
Yeah.
Unless you're in China. I mean, like, you know what I mean? Like in terms of what you can access. But
Yeah.
like if you live in America, your
Well,
internet's
yeah.
not being blocked. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think, and I think that's something that I see a lot is like people who think that the work stops at drawing attention to a problem. And I'm like, no, that's the first step.
just started.
Yeah, like you noticed the problem, you drew attention
Yeah.
to the problem. Now you have to solve the problem.
Right. And you know, art is a problem solver.
Exactly. And I'm like, if you can't figure out how to solve the problem, like I teach my kids, if you can't figure it out on your own and you're getting too frustrated, you ask for help. Like
That's right.
that's the next step. When you are well and truly stuck, when you've
Right.
used all of the tools at your disposal and you are
Mm-hmm.
stuck, you ask somebody for help and say, what is the next tool? You don't ask them to solve the problem for you. You
No.
ask them what other tools are
Mm-hmm.
to go
Mm-hmm.
solve the problem, or how am I using these tools wrong?
Right.
Like
Right. Is there a better way that I can use these more effectively? You know?
exactly. But you can't just go, oh, this is a problem, I don't like it, and complain about it and then
And
decide
do nothing. Because
that's it.
it's just gonna be the
Right.
same shit.
And especially as an artist, because like you said, art is problem solving. Like,
Yeah, definitely can be.
yeah, and
Mhm.
if you're not going through the full cycle, getting through like I've told my friends a lot, like when I go quiet on social media, it's usually because I'm in a not mentally good place and I haven't been able to come full cycle
Mm-hmm.
into hope again. Like I don't
Yeah,
like to post when I haven't gotten back to hope
right.
because I'm like that's how I see my work is like
Mm,
here's all the shit that is life.
right.
And then this is how we're going to work through to keep going. Because
True.
otherwise, you're going to quit. And
Mm-hmm.
like, you're either going to just quit or you're going to be a miserable person that
Right.
makes people want to quit or quit
Right.
you. Like,
Right. Yeah.
you gotta go all the way through. You have to identify the problem and
Mm-hmm.
then do work.
Yep.
And that work can be work in yourself, or it can be figuring out your materials. This isn't doing
Mm-hmm.
what I want it to do. It can be work in the community. We're missing these
Right.
things. We need these things. Like
Right. Filling voids
anything.
and whatnot.
Yeah, but don't stop at this is bad. Like
Mm-mm. No, no,
just
that's not
don't.
the way. That
Yeah,
is not the way.
right. The Mandalorian will tell you this is not the way. Sorry, I geekery is strong in this family. But yeah, like there's and I think I saw some of your posts where people would like just stop at the complaining and you were
Hmm.
like, no, we don't have empathy for that. Like, no. And that's such a valid response is no, I'm not going, I
Yeah.
don't have empathy for you when you're stopping
No.
there. Like,
Right.
yes, I acknowledge that there's a problem, but
Yeah.
why did you stop there?
Right. And I mean,
Like,
like, where do we go from here? You know what I mean? Like, what can we do? And honestly, being on social media a lot is easy for me just in a few posts to see where a person's at. And a lot of times there's a solution that's right there. Not all the time, but in many cases it is because a lot of people just don't have tools to kind of like analyze. And we're not doing enough self-analysis analyzation with an analyst. So I see it. I see it in the way people communicate. So sometimes I can ask you a question that makes you ask the question you should be asking. You know what I
right,
mean? And being empathetic, caring, and not an asshole, I can do it in a way that you don't feel like you're being attacked. So a lot
exactly.
of times I feel like, and also that's how community, that's how you bring value to the timeline. It's like, yo, you see stuff. I'll see like a bunch of people pile on to something or not be nice or just like not actually answer the question that the person is asking. And I'll go, oh, you know what? Let me just answer this question in a real way. And then that person will be like, thank you. Or I might get a DM from the person. Because I've seen many occasions where like I could look and I could see a person. They may not just have a language or they, you know, they may be not able to articulate a thing in the proper way. And all these super smart people, for some reason, not being objective enough to see that and recognize how this person communicates. You're so smart, but you don't see it. But I see it. And instead of piling on and being nasty to them or just being snarky, I'll just say some real shit. You know, I'll sandwich it. I might say something halfway snarky or joking, sarcastic or whatever, but it's a playful way to communicate and a person gets it. And I've definitely had people who was getting, you know, a new one torn in them, turn around and be like, oh, thank you for what you said. Now I appreciate it. Cause I articulated in a way that didn't come with all that judgment. It just was like,
Exactly.
nah, bro, I don't think this is gonna work out for you. Think about how you approaching the situation. And that same person is like, you know what? Yeah, thanks for that.
Yeah. Because you
Thanks for
don't
not
like,
coming and punch me in my face after I've been punched in the face 100 times.
yeah, because
Thank you for that.
you can't know what you don't know. Like,
No, no, you can't. You
and that's
can't.
what you can't fault people for ignorance. Like I will fault you for looking at information and then not doing anything with it. I will fault you for
Yeah.
laziness and everything like that. But I can't fault you for ignorance. If you just don't know.
I don't know shit. So like, why would I ever be mad at somebody else not knowing something? Or
Exactly.
having this
I'm like,
expectation for them to know what I know.
mm-hmm.
And also,
I
I don't know how you learn. I don't understand. I don't know how you're able to take in information and comprehend. Because sometimes people just have poor comprehension. I mean, we live in a country where, you know, a lot of people are functionally illiterate.
yes.
Some people got out of college. I don't know how they got out of college. They can barely read or write. So like, I think about all of this when I'm talking to people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And communicating with me because you could. I mean, I don't know. It's frustrating to me because I think a lot of stuff is just really obvious to see. I'm like, oh, this person is suffering from such and such. Then you click on a link and you go look at the way they post and the way they communicate, and you go, yeah, it's really clear that this person's going through something.
Right. Right. Like,
Like for real. And I'm like, don't pile on this person. This person got enough problems. But like, you know,
exactly.
stop being a bully. It's easy to be a bully. It's like everybody decides to be an art bully or an art critic and all this other stuff. It's so weird. Just make art.
Exactly.
Just shut
Oh my
up, make
gosh.
art.
And I'll ask because you just mentioned art critics and like this is a thing like in Creative Nexus I'm like no we don't critique.
Mhm.
We don't. Now if somebody says I don't like this, do you have ideas how it could be stronger? Sure.
Mhm. Yeah,
Ideas. But we
yeah,
don't look
technical
at something
stuff.
and say yeah, but we don't look at it and say oh you shouldn't have used that color that I don't like you're not getting the depth you want. We don't critique. We
Nope.
don't do that because I personally, having sat through some critiques, I think most critiques are bullshit. Like you don't get to tell an artist what their vision was.
Mhm.
Like maybe that's what they wanted. Like
Right,
it goes back to high school English class when they're like, what was the poet trying to say in this? I don't know. Maybe they were just saying there was a bird on the branch. Maybe
right. Maybe
that's
it was just talking
like,
about the bird.
yeah, like, we don't get to ascribe meaning to other people's work
Right,
that is definitive. We can say to me,
right,
it is
right.
this. We don't get to definitively say this is this.
Nope.
And so I'm curious in like in the community work that you do and everything, like how do you approach critique or things like that? Like how do you look at it?
I don't do too much of that. Again, this is a if someone's asking me a specific question,
Mhm.
you know, I might approach it. If it's a technical thing, then I'm more into like, oh, maybe you may want to approach this, you want to do it this way, you want to try these things. But I don't fucking care. Like I don't have a lot of opinions because they're not necessary to have. And it's not my place to just decide I see a thing. You know what? I think part of it is because I just don't see it that way. I don't see there being a right way to do it. And since a lot of my process is to go against anything traditional that I've been taught, you know what I mean? Like that's a big part of me. Like anything I've been taught or whatever is the standard that we say that things should be, I don't care about it. So I'm
Mhm.
just doing whatever I choose to do in the moment. So like I'm I'm never stepping in to say anything about another person's art unless I'm asked, you know, for a question or whatever. Yeah, I just that's not a I was like, what am I critiquing and why?
Ex-
It's not necessary. Like what and I think a lot of people, especially younger artists or whatever, they're asking stuff. There's a difference between somebody asking me how this could be better or whether or not I like that shit.
Right.
And whether I like it doesn't matter. Like you
Exactly.
should never ask another person if they like a piece of art. Like there's no reason to ask that question. You made it, you like it, you appreciate it. If you want some feedback, if you want to say, is there another way for me to get deeper tones? What material
Right.
should I be using? You ask those questions, but don't ask a person whether they like it or not, because it's subjective. They don't have to like it. You could do the most masterful work, doesn't mean I'm gonna like it. It has no bearing on whether or not you're good at the thing you're doing or your brush strokes are fire. You know what I mean? And also I can see a piece of work that I might not necessarily enjoy for myself, like I would want hanging in my house, but I can appreciate the craftsmanship. I can see how amazing it is, and I can respect that this human being made it. You know what I mean? It just might not be for me. You know what I mean? I might totally not be in the red, and all you do is red paintings.
Yeah.
So none of your red ass paintings is going to be in my house. But I'll
Exactly.
tell everybody that loves red about you. I'm like, this is incredible. If I liked red, maybe I would hang it. But I don't like red at all because I
Right.
have my own demons that I'm trying to figure out about red. And right now is not the time to be hanging some red ass paint in my house when I haven't done the work to understand why red bothers me. Or maybe it is. Maybe I buy this red painting and I look at it every day and it haunts me until I figure it out.
Contemplate.
You know what I mean? But like, yeah, so I don't critique.
Yeah.
It's not a thing for me. I don't care. And I don't care to be critiqued. I mean, you can say what you want. I don't care. It doesn't matter. I'm like, I sell paintings. I have my paintings. I make art. I'm successful in the things that I do. So like, I don't really need anybody to say shit to me.
Right.
Like, what do I need you for? I made it this far in life. I'm alive. I don't
Mhm.
need you. I don't need you. I'm not asking. And I think being all right with that is what people have a problem with. Because for that, it's too much. It's like, wait, this person is just person being themselves. Then you got to ask yourself, if you're a person that's bothered by a person being themselves, you got a lot of work to do internally.
Exactly.
Because if a person not dimming their light and just enjoying themselves and being in community bothers you,
You are the problem.
you got some issues and you got to
Right.
work on them. You really do, because that's sad. Like it's
Like,
really sad.
absolutely. Like I love listening to you here, listening to hearing. I love hearing you say that, listening to you say
Mhm.
that. Man, brain's not working yet. Um, because like I think for myself, definitely that is always the goal of
Right.
being able to get to the it doesn't matter what anybody else says. Like my logical brain is completely aware
Mhm.
of this,
Right.
is completely aware that I'm creating for me and I'm doing this for me. And it doesn't care, it doesn't matter what you guys think, or we're gonna do it like this. But you've some of us have fallen down the, hole of like,
Yeah.
no, but we need to be accepted. We need approval. We need external validation. And it's so hard
Yeah.
to take that and just be like, shut up. Like we're not, I'm not listening to you. We're doing
Right.
this for us. Like it feels so good for me to hear somebody say that they're there. Like
Mhm.
I love that. And
Mhm. I don't know any other way to be.
yeah,
I don't know how to be anything else.
yeah. And more people need to be like that. And it is
Right.
my reminder of it's possible.
Right. Right.
It's
Right.
this is
Right.
not just imaginary, like, we're going to say this and it's not attainable. It's possible. I can get there. So,
So it's
that.
many ways to do a thing, right? And that's the way I do it, and so many others do. And I think part of the thing, and it's not just art, it's just in life, is being able to question yourself, why? Why am I saying this?
Yeah.
Because especially if it's one of these things that's limiting your possibilities, and like there's like a bunch of possibilities on the other side, but what's blocking you is this way of being. Now you got to challenge that way of being. And like a lot of times, like I see people talk about imposter syndrome, and when I saw somebody post something like, yo, I got imposter syndrome. I just did my first show, whatever. And they're showing photos of their first exhibition and a successful one. And I'm like, okay, see, you're not an imposter because you just did that.
Right.
So it's like being able to stop something right. And I mean, that's therapy right there. That's therapeutic methods, therapy methods where you go, here's the reality. Okay, like let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And only for you to see it in front of you and go, oh, you know what? That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. To prove that it can be done. For me, it's been a series of that. So that's the other thing that builds my confidence. The receipts. So I can't say I'm imposter if someone is willing to fly me somewhere to another location, put me up, put me on the stage, and have me talk to all these people. Because if I don't get it right, then that person is in. So yeah, I'm not an imposter because this person's not going to do all this, jeopardize their reputation to fly me somewhere. So like that's the reality. So like that's part of the way you confront these ridiculous thoughts that come, or intrusive thoughts, that are negative to who you are, you know what I mean? And just doing that as a practice and an exercise is a way to stop it, so you got to stop it right then and there, or it just lingers and it just continues to be, I would look like AI, like my fingers is messed up. But anyway.
Yeah, the teaching your brain to reframe the thought, like,
Mm-hmm.
and
The art of the reframe. Oh my goodness.
eventually I can only assume that, less reframing is needed
Right, right.
down the road.
Ultimately. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You stop having to do it because it's like just something in you. It's like, nah, you
Yeah.
good. You're good. Or it takes shrooms or something. I don't know. Do a mushroom journey. Shit. Let the plants tell you. Like, nah. Eat
Yeah.
some cordyceps, have some lion's mane, reishi, chaga, all the different mushrooms. You know what I mean? Like recorrect in the brain to
Yeah.
be, less aggressive in attacking you all the fucking time.
Yeah. Like, I've noticed I've done a lot of work in reframing responses to others.
Mm,
I have
like
not
what?
done, oh, like,
Yeah, example.
like, when you're out and about, again, I don't like people. So when I'm out and about and, like, people are not being pleasant to be around, they're cutting
Yeah.
in traffic, and, like, instead of getting angry, trying
Hmm.
to reframe to, like, okay, well, I don't know what's going on in their life. Maybe they just
That's
found out
real.
that their kid is in the hospital and they're
Right.
frantically trying to get there. I don't know. So I've done a lot of that work trying to
Yeah.
reframe all of, like, external stimulus into
Hmm.
how, making it not be negative. I realize now I've not done much work on the internal stimulus.
Right.
I'm like, I need to do more of that, because the principle is the same. You can form
Right.
those neural pathways, like, you
Hmm.
keep making the path, the little game trail in your brain, so that it
Right.
it
You gotta shake that shit up and change it, you know. Because like we're creatures of habit, we're gonna do the same. We gonna do the same shit every day unless we
exactly.
change it. To have that whiteboard up, have those reminders, the subconscious and the conscious reminders that like I need to shift something over, or your support team. Like that's what accountability buddies are really supposed to do, not be overbearing and being in your fucking face, but just like give you a little nudge. You know what I mean? Like I generally don't always need it, but like I got a creative partner to be like, yo, you came in kind of hot with that last post, bro. And I can decide to be like, yeah, you're right. Or I could be like, well, nah, actually, that was on purpose. Because that's the other thing. Like I'm always playing.
Right.
Not playing, but playing, you know what I mean? And I'm always aware, like I'm uber aware of what I post, how I post it, the way I word things. Like I'm doing it for a long time. So like I know what I'm saying and I don't take shit back. So I'm like, no, I said that. And I said it this way. And I also understand that sometimes people's comprehension because they're reading into not reading something that I'm writing. And I'm like, yo, read that again. You know how many times I would get a person, I'd be like, no, you should read that over. Just read it over, reread how I wrote it, because I wrote it a certain way and you're missing it. Read it again. And then
Yep.
I'll go,
Oh,
oh, I'm like, yeah,
yeah.
see,
Yep.
it's on purpose. It's my performance art.
Mhm.
Internet, like I wrote it like that for a reason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people will bring to it whatever they're
Right.
carrying that day, that in that
Hmm.
moment, and that colors
Everything.
everything.
Yep.
And I love how unapologetic your words are, because this coming from me, like I always feel like I have to couch everything, like I want to have footnotes so that you understand
Hmm.
exactly what I'm saying, so you don't misinterpret,
Hmm.
so that I can be like, no, put your baggage down
Right.
and read. But I love how yours is just like, here.
That comes with time though, because I had to let go of that too. Because I spend a lot of time worrying about am I being mean or if people are going to take it the wrong. I'm like, people are gonna always take it the wrong way. There's no way to write anything that pleases everyone, and you should not be trying to do that. And I recognized that many years ago. Also, I'm like, I see the way you already talk to each other. There's nothing that I'm saying, especially when it's not directed at someone. If I'm saying something that's very vague and it's more so a prompt, a lot of times I'm saying something to remind myself, or I'm speaking on a previous situation or circumstance that I actually experienced. So I start from there. Or I see someone talking about, I see numerous people talk about the same exact thing. So I'm like, oh, that's something that needs to be discussed from a different vantage point because we're not getting anywhere with the way you guys are talking about it. So like, that's my approach. You know what I mean? Like, I see it, I say it, and I'm not going to sit here and be worried about how somebody's going to feel about something that's not even personal. But
Right.
I went through that. I went through that long period because part of it is like my responsibility of my words and how people receive them. And it's like, but no, you can't coddle people either. So
Yeah.
find that middle ground, you know what I mean? Or sometimes I just kill them with kindness. And then I'll have like these spurts where I I'm being really sharp with it. You know what I mean? Or I'm humoring myself.
Mhm.
Because then I get to exercise being a regular human being versus being this person that people assume you walk on fucking water. I don't. And I had like a big period of time when it was like that. They assume I don't eat no meat, and you don't eat meat. I'm like, what did I ever say that?
Yeah.
And then I'm wearing white, and then I'm namasteing everything and burning incense and stuff. And sure, I got crystals and all that other stuff. I shift through different modalities. I'm a magician. I pull tarot and oracle cards and all that, only for personal development. But that's through my learning, and I don't always share all of that because right off, people will take that as, oh, he's an idiot. He believes in astrology or shit like that. I'm like, bro, no, I'm a well-studied person and I'm using these things the way
That's
I've been guided to use them. Like I feel them, I understand them. But
yeah.
just placing yourself in the world and wanting to be better with people in your language, you still have to be fully genuine and authentic, those words that people love to use, and stop worrying about whether or not somebody's going to feel away because they're always going to feel away. I've had accounts get shut down because I was just kind. So who makes you have to start a new Facebook account because all you do is say kind things to people?
Oh, angry people.
Yeah. So I realized that. I'm like, I'm not. I've also I also really, really like to be a troll with love because I've done it. Like I've converted people. Some of the most hateful people end up in my inbox apologizing to me because what I don't do is delete things. I let you keep being an ass on my timeline. As long as you don't say anything to the people that are following me. Once you
Right.
start harassing them and stuff like that, I'm gonna cut you off. But I'll take all the heat. I want all the smoke. because chances are you're not going to be able to sustain the way you're behaving with the way I'm responding to you. So that's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. I'm like,
I
I'm in control of this.
I love I have many friends like you who are just like, I just love this. And I'm like, I can't do it. I will delete you. I very much have this is
Right.
my living room. And if I'm not
Mm-hmm.
okay with that being said in my living room, then you're gone.
Right. Right. You know.
Because I do not have I do not have a well regulated nervous system. It's
I don't think mine is either. I'm always working on it.
but like I don't find it
Yeah.
fun. I just get
No, no,
angry and I
no,
lose.
no.
I'm not to the point where I
Yeah.
can maintain my capacity for
Yeah.
loving
Yeah.
kindness. Like,
Yeah.
no, I might come through the screen and punch you at this
I'm
point.
gonna air you out. Definitely. You know, and it varies, you know what I mean? It's not all the time because it's not sustainable to be that way.
Yeah.
But you see it. You know, I can recognize the patterns in the way people talk. I can see how they talk to other people. And all I gotta do is click over and see what they're doing. And I can see, like I've had people that literally I could see, oh, you have like severe mental health challenges, the way you're responding and the way you're coming back in the paragraphs that you're sending at me. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to attack this person. This person going through something much bigger than what I'm, you know, I understand. I see it. And then I'll find a way and then I'll delete and I'll remove like a post. I don't want to embarrass people. I'm not here for that. But
Right.
in that moment, if we're going back and forth and you want to do this, you want to do this? Okay, let's do this.
Right.
But I'm going to do it in the most loving way that it throws you, you're like, what? You're so unused to it. And honestly, that'll make you insane. Because you're looking for someone to be just as nasty as you. It's not gonna
Exactly.
be me
Right.
because I don't care. But also I can convert people and I have. You know, I also honestly, I wish sometimes I could screenshot my DMs from the last 10 years and share them just in a book because you could see the power of like pure communication and caring about another human being, even if you're not connected to them and don't know them, what that looks like in a lot of the way I communicate. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, it's better for me. It's better for us. You
Yeah.
know, it's better for us if I'm not going to be terrible.
For sure. Yeah.
Like,
Like I'm a if I can have an actual conversation with you, if you respond to the things that I'm saying and you actually read them and you acknowledge like I'm a big critical thinking person.
right.
You I require critical thinking skills. If we cannot think
Yeah.
critically and we're going to engage in logical fallacies and you can't handle when I call you out on that, then I'm sorry, this is not going to be a productive conversation. And if you
Yeah.
get offended when I tell you you should learn about critical thinking, and
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't
It's
know what
the
to do.
it's the intellectually dishonest shit.
Yeah,
Because sometimes I'm seeing people that are way too competent, and I'm like, you're fighting things that you need to handle because right now you're just not being honest, and and then, of course, and I won't talk about politics, but that's all we've seen across the board, red or blue. Put them together, they're purple, the purple party. So like, like it's like, bro, like why are you being dishonest?
hmm
You know, I understand you understand these things and the way things are, and you want things to be different, or but you are assigned to a team, and that team is not seeing, equitable living for everybody on both sides. You know what I mean? And also, we live in America. Everybody's looking at us stupid for this two-party shit. It's a bunch of other stuff. It's real tough to be an American.
yeah, this
Because
is
I don't have nothing to do with none of this foolishness. All this stuff came before I was even born.
right.
And let me set foot outside of this country. People gonna ask me questions about why I don't know why they're doing any of that. I don't do that.
Like I didn't do this. I'm just
Nothing. I'm not responsible for it. So the
right.
most I can do is be responsible for who I am and the communities I build and the things that I do totally have control over, and like education, feeding, and all that other stuff for people. That's a political action within itself, and I understand that, and I've been dedicated to that for my whole adult life. So that's my answer to politics.
Yes, I love that.
Like, do a thing,
Yeah,
change people's lives like every day.
yeah, find the next right thing and do it.
Mhm.
because
Advocate for that. Advocate for human beings and people, not just
exactly.
policies, but actual people. Like, like being an ally or being what is it? If you're in a 12-step program, you know what I mean? Being a sponsor, being
Mhm.
a mentor. These are the ways that you
Yeah.
shift and change paradigms. Like really doing it, not asking for permission to do it, seeing the need, you know,
Yes.
and that's what drives change. But what do I know? I don't know shit.
Yeah. No, I feel you. Like I feel like it's really not that hard at this point. Just
No.
like we the fuck around stage is over. We are in the find out stage. Like we have found out.
Yeah.
So the problems are very visible.
Yeah.
The solutions are also very visible.
Right.
And you don't have to, like you said, you don't have to wait for policy. It doesn't have to be the government that makes decisions. I mean, it'd be really nice if you could like count on the government to care about your
Definitely.
people and protect.
Definitely.
But like that's bonkers. I think we
Right.
this at this point.
Right.
You can't do that. So just take care of people.
Right.
Like see the need. I
Take
mean,
care of people. Be kind.
yeah,
Treat people how you want to be treated. But you can't even say that because some people want to be treated terribly because they have things within them that, that they're fed. Certain parts of them are fed by mistreatment. So
yeah,
you can't even just say treat people how you want to be treated because some people don't even know what that is. Some people can't even advocate for themselves. So that's a statement that you can't even make anymore. Be honest. If you want to be honest about like what we're going through, what people are challenged by, you know.
sure. Oh, that is a truth I hadn't considered, but that is
Mhm.
yeah.
I'm constantly just thinking about stuff that we say all the time. I just stopped saying a lot of stuff. So like this is ridiculous. Why do we say this? Because we're humans, creatures of habit, and we like slogans and shit.
Yeah.
So like we keep saying it, even though, I think, the one that really annoys me is when someone says they playing chess, not checkers. And I'm like, but checkers, man, that's still a game of strategy. Also, some people
Right?
suck at checkers. So I like, you know what I mean? Just because you can play chess, if you can't play checkers, then I think that's kind of weird. If you're basing the idea that chess is like this elite way of form of function to show your intelligence and your ability to strategize and win and conquer, if you can't play checkers,
You're not
then
gonna
you're a
right,
flawed warrior and
right.
someone shoots you in your ankle and you die. Like,
Yeah,
like, come on, like what is
sure.
yeah, those sayings are ridiculous.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like as somebody who routinely loses checkers to her 12-year-old, yeah. Checkers is a game of strategy.
It is, and like anticipation is levels to like a game in
Yeah.
general. You know what I mean? I mean, that's why game theory exists. And
Mhm.
that's a whole other level. I mean, they use that for politics, definitely. But it's like those little things also to study those small things, they inform your practice, your way you communicate. So like even if you hear someone say a thing, you're not familiar with it. We have the internet, you can go look it up. Any terminology we may have used in this interview, and that's another way to be a better artist. I find that like I learn the most when I look at a person that I really admire or I'm moved by, and I'm interested to know who did they study, who moved them, and
Yes.
and that's how you move along. That's another way to like grapple this idea of art history.
Hmm.
It's to like follow the people that you really like and see who they're thinking about, and then go learn about them. It's a great way to do it without it seeming like homework, because like there's this big bullshit over it. Like if you're into art history or you're not. It's so binary and it's ridiculous. It's just a way to learn and push your art forward, or, push your ideas forward of how you can be community. Like, what did Dada do? Like, what did these people do different? Like, why are their names in history the way they are? And of course, certain people get their name. What is like the victor always makes history, but still, these names are relevant for reasons. And why are they relevant? You know what I mean? That's how you study. That was very random.
Yeah, that's actually when we got started. That was my husband was like, okay, so this is what you're gonna do, because this is what he does with his composition students. He's like, no, you're gonna look at the people that you like, you're gonna look at what you like, And then you're just going to keep going up the ladder.
Right.
Like,
Right.
okay,
Study.
what
It's a great
inspired
way to
this?
study. Man,
Yeah.
constant. I love that. And man, when I think about um, the way a lot of artists in the past were, they were a whole lot more into writing to each other and talking about their experience and their practice and leaving notes. And, it's funny to be in a place where we have so many tools to connect ourselves globally, even if we can't be in front of each other. And we spend a lot of our time arguing with each other on the internet about stuff instead of just like being together on it and like, yo, listen, there is a whole lot more things that we have in common that we have that's different. I look at a lot of the prolific letter writers during like the Renaissance period and whatnot, and like they were excited to see each other at the next salon. You know what I mean? They were supportive of just the idea of creation and whatnot. And I think a big part of the reason, definitely, you throw words out there like capitalism and whatnot, and that cause a lot of our issues. But with art, the commodification of art is like the main reason why we can't see art beyond, it being a job or it being a status thing. It's like it's a modality for learning, healing, growing, for change. And if we could see it as that, it being as important as stretching or brushing your teeth.
Oh,
But
yeah.
because it's connected to a dollar, that like ruins the possibilities for people to actually be self-actualized through their practice. Because they have too many people in their studio that don't belong in there. The only people that should be in your studio are the people that you invite, if you choose to invite them.
Yes.
And that's what's keeping a lot of people from being as great as they can be in their process. Because it's your process. You don't ask somebody else to ask you how to write your journal.
Right. Right.
Like you might ask them like, what's a good way to start writing? You might be like, and a person will be like, well, get some journal prompts. And you're like,
Mhm.
cool. But you're not asking them, what should I be writing right here? No, you
Right.
just lived that yesterday. You need to do it.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know, that's
And
what's missing.
yeah, and then, we're putting technique and ideas and everything
Hmm.
behind paywalls and,
It's
gatekeeping. Like,
crazy.
no, you can't. I'm not going to tell you what materials I use. I'm not going to tell you this because then you're going to steal my method. And it's like, but they're never
Right.
going to. Nobody's ever going to look at your art, even if you tell them exactly what you did and
Hmm.
create the same exact thing.
No,
It's not
it's not
possible.
possible. And I mean, there's definitely there's avenues whereas in you don't tell your process, of course. But a lot of times the gatekeeping has nothing to do with that.
Right.
But there are people that, nah, I'm not going to tell you anything because I know what you're going to do, because there's also people that just steal. There's so much of that happening. And like, fortunately, I'm not an illustrator. I don't go through half of the stuff that people are talking about. And if I did, I probably wouldn't care. I think I crossed that bridge a long time ago. If somebody's finna steal it, they're going to steal it, but you can't steal me. It's like, it's not possible.
Right.
But now for illustrators and stuff, I know people have like these really
Yeah.
horrible stories about. And then, looking up and then you seeing like they're selling something of yours, basically your design, hardly changed, modified, and you see it at Target on the website. You're like, what?
Mhm.
Wow. Okay. Okay. You know. Anyway.
Yeah. It's hard. Yeah, I like that's I always try to the reframe of like, okay, but yeah, there are risks for this. There are
Hmm.
risks for me sharing all of these things, but
Right.
benefit, the benefit of just free exchange of ideas and
Hmm.
information, I'm like, that's gotta outweigh
Right.
the risk. Now, I mean, I do have the privilege of having a day job and my husband is employed. So like I am not
Right.
like if I'm not making money off of my art, it's not like I don't know how to put food on the table.
Right. Right. Right.
Total, I acknowledge that privilege, but man, like the benefits of more people creating
Right.
and more access to
Right.
art. It's just like,
And not just creating in the space of like, oh, I'm an artist. No, just being, because we're humans, we are creative. And that's the other problem that we have. We like just arguing about who gets to be creative. Everybody, because that's what humans do. All we do is make shit. And in most cases, we make a mess, but we're making constantly,
Yes.
constantly. We make, we consume, we make, we consume. But then when you have people that are going, well, you can't make anything because you're not in this box. It's like, no, that's not how any of this works, because you could be in an office and everybody can be an amazing artist and creative and designer, but someone that's in a different department can walk in, spot something, and go, you might want to make this adjustment, because they
Mhm.
understand symmetry, they understand negative space, they also understand something that somehow this room full of people miss with the topography.
Right.
Creativity and understanding of the way things are positioned does not belong to anyone because they decide to call themselves an artist. And we can remove ourselves from that bullshit, because there's so many people who are not being creative because they don't think they have license to do so, because they were told that you needed a paintbrush or a typewriter. And that's
Mhm.
stupid as hell. Like, it's just dumb. You know, and it's, you see the most basic things that we're suffering from, they're not huge. They're really minimal things that, again, the reframe or the question, I think we don't question people enough when they say asinine things.
Yeah.
And not in an argumentative way, because I'm not going to do that, because I know I'm not going to get the best out of you if I ask you a question, but I'm going to ask you genuinely, do you believe that? And why do you believe that? What is your experience? And then
Mhm.
in your answer, I go, okay, I know how to have this conversation so that at the end of it, you'll pull back from being so stringent in your belief, and you'll go, okay, yeah, well, that does make sense. I think having the skill to be able to have conversations with those people that do not agree, or are just coming in from a very static place and rigid, being able to talk to them so that they can loosen that. Not only do you get to maybe convince them of their own creativities or their own things that they don't think they can do, by giving them a new way to look. And that's what art does. It applies different vantages. Like, if you see it from how I'm looking at it, and I can see you clearly, and I'm like, oh no, I can see your strong suits and all this. You might not even realize that you were able to do that. But I talked to you for 5 minutes and I can see that you're really good at that. But you
Yeah.
have to be a person that's concerned. That's a community thing. Like, assessing people, having them be seen and heard, and affirming them and giving them tools. And part of that is just saying things to them in a real way that they've never heard before from another individual. And then giving them the confidence and the ability, I can actually do this thing. Someone saw it, you know what I mean? And that's, again, that's part of the work of leading a group or leading a community, is recognizing and analyzing, people's strengths and weaknesses, and helping them build those things up, you know.
And remembering that they are not binary. It's not a you
No,
have it or you don't. It's a there it's all shades of gray. Like
yeah,
you
that's where all the work is happening, in the gray area.
yeah, for sure. Oh, I love that. I
Yep.
love
I
well,
love black and white though. That's my favorite.
I have noticed that with a lot of your work. I love
Well, I
it.
mean, the my IG account was black and white for a month. I finally
Mhm.
just came back to color. And that's another creative way of approaching the timeline. That's a creative way to, because we know we're dealing with algorithms. We also know we're dealing with, our connection being throttled. But when people are trying to make the most explosive videos and doing all this stuff, I just kind of reeled it back to like, what's simple? What do we do? People are so overstimulated, but there's certain things that happens, certain kind of feelings and visceral response that happens, that's elicited when you present something in black and white, when you present something without sound. So these are things that I'm thinking about, like artistically using my thing to bring people to pay attention, or to give the calls to actions or the prompts that have them be engaged with the material that's happening online. I see a lot of people talking about, I don't see artists doing this now. I'm like, there's so many things that I've done, and I know I kind of stopped because I'm from YouTube days. So a lot of stuff, I already did it. I already played on the internet in certain kind of ways, and saw success in it. And then, like, to this day, there are people that remind me of stuff I've taken off the internet long ago. But like, how do we get people who are not looking at art the way we want them to look at art? How do we, putting something in their hand? I mean, years ago, I made a series of quote books. They were digital and they were art. They were pieces of art. They changed over the time as I made them. You know what I mean? They were kind of playing with the idea of a PDF, and the original PDF was people just were scanning books. You know what I mean? They were scanning whole books and then you were looking at them. And I was like, well, let me make this first book like that. A book that you can only do is you can just scroll it and look at it. You can't interact with it. Doesn't have hyperlinks. It was like a homage to that era of sharing information through stolen material. Like like I'm gonna scan this, scan this, scan that. Now you have it. And then artists started thinking, oh, we make this PDF of this poster. Now you can go print this poster and you can put it all over your neighborhood. You might be in the Czech Republic, you know what I mean? And I'm in New York making these things. So like I'm thinking about using art to solve the problem of the disconnect. So like me making my channel Black and White was a part of that. And also it was me having this going record of who's paying attention, who to lean into more as far as my followers, my audience, or whatever you want to call it, and who to kind of keep building this relationship with, with that art. You know what I mean? So like, there's a reason for that. I look at all these channels and all these things that I put up as just like television, because that's what it looks like. And I know a couple of times I've been super high and I'm like, yeah, this is TV, really. It's TV. So like, how are we playing it? So like, if you go to my other account, you'll see that some of the stuff may overlap. You might see the same commercial in the stories, but you see a whole nother spectrum of color, or you see me talking directly to the camera. There was a point where I just wasn't breaking the fourth wall at all. So like these things over time, if people are paying attention, they'll notice. And depending on what they're looking for, what they're thirsty for as far as art and the way art can be presented and ideas and thoughts and all that stuff. So I've been doing this for so long, but now we're back to color, I think. I came back to color the other day and I'm like, I don't know if y'all deserve color, and also that's me just like being a little cheeky and funny, you know what I mean? And I can see who appreciates that. You throw a poll in there, to see if people are paying attention or if they're reading the description. There's different ways that you can really surmise whether or not people who do get access to you, because we're fighting against that, people not seeing you and people misconstrue, not getting a lot of likes and all this, to people not caring. It's like, no, they don't see you. If you have 1,000 followers and 10 people see you, you're not going to get a lot of engagement. So you can throw that out the window that people don't care about your art, even though you're not supposed to care if people care.
Exactly.
Like, anyway,
yeah. I love that idea of like coming at it from so many different angles, especially seeing what's resonating with people, and the fact that different things are going to resonate with different people because we all see things differently. And then, it's going to be, what baggage are you bringing with you today that's affecting how you're taking this in. I love that kind of experiment of.
I just want people asking questions at the end of the day. And that's what's fun. That because you've done something that was remarkable, enough for a person to be like, I can't put my finger on it, but something is odd about this. Shout out to Thunder Kid, another individual artist that I met on Threads. We actually met in real life. I took a piece of art to him in Baltimore a few weeks ago. He was like, I've been watching what you're doing. So he did something that was kind of similar in terms of playing with his timeline. He had a project coming up in 7 days, and he took the album cover and it was all blurred out. Every day he would make an announcement that the project was coming and he would make it less blurry.
Wow, cool.
So like playing. Yeah. Again, this is all about playing, but also understanding the psychology of what sticks and what doesn't and whatnot. So instead of me arguing with people on the internet, I'm just finding ways to play and use everything as a tool for me, and doing these really interesting focus groups that people don't even know that they're in, like day to day. It's fun, and then honestly, what you can do if you want to is you can take your findings And that's a piece of art and a conversation too. Like I can do a whole talk if I decided to do a whole talk about just certain social media things and things, my findings, and then share that with people because it's a thing that people aren't thinking about very often. And
Mhm.
now here I go with a class that can help you maybe analyze or think creatively or maybe embed some of your practice in a way that you never thought that you could using social media, using these tools. And then there's the whole live stream aspect and doing things for people that are way over here. And
Yeah.
you never run out of ways to creatively approach connection with your art, through your art, by the art, and that's like constantly my thing. So if you can get people that don't belong in your studio and, don't let people live rent free in your head about what you should and you shouldn't do and just stick to the creation, then your experience on and offline can be so much more wonderful and fruitful, but you have to make these decisions. Like this is what I woke up today, this is what I want to do.
Absolutely.
It's work. It's a lot of it's just work on yourself,
Yeah.
you know.
Technology is a beautiful thing when you set
Yeah.
boundaries with it and use it as
Yeah.
instead of just a replacement for
Yeah.
human interaction.
None of this existed when we were born.
Right.
None of
Right.
it.
Yeah.
So like none of it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It is. Oh
We
yeah.
touch our phones, like we touch our phone, like I touch my phone. My phone responds to my voice.
Yeah.
It's all Star Trek. It's all Star Trek.
Oh,
The
my kid.
first tablet, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah. Like all the time they, what was this like when I'm like, we didn't have them.
right?
What was your favorite app when you were a kid?
An app. What's an app?
I had a pile of gravel in the backyard
Hmm.
and
Right.
like we didn't do this.
We
What?
played board games. We have board
Yeah.
games. We
Yeah.
play Sorry, Trouble, Pop-O-Matic, Bubble.
Mom, why don't you know how to code? Cause
Because
cause I
most people don't.
yeah, I was like, cause dude, when I
Yeah.
was a kid, the highlight was Oregon Trail.
Oh my. You know what?
Like,
Wait till my creative partner listens to this interview because he's gonna laugh at that. Yeah, Oregon Trail on a slow ass Mac computer. And
yes.
you know what's funny? So, okay, speaking of that, so I would say before high school, it's like maybe it's probably fifth grade. And I remember we had this math lab. I don't understand it. So it's math lab. You come into class and on the chalkboard is all these problems. They're like really simple math equations. Your job now is to go in the computer to type all of these out flawlessly so that hopefully they can give you that floppy disk so you could play Oregon Trail. I don't
Yes.
think I ever played Oregon Trail. I think maybe once, just based off of that, I was like, I could never. Well, this is before I even knew that Mavis Beacon typing tutor existed. And if anybody knows what that is, so like I'm typing equations, and then like by the time I'm finally done, I'm like, yay, the bell is gonna ring before I put Oregon Trail in the computer. Like no one knows that. You don't know that pain. You don't know the pain
Yeah.
of this nonsensical. I
Yeah.
still don't know what math lab was supposed to be about.
Yeah.
Like I
The-
don't even know why we took that class.
I know. Kids these days, they don't know that pain. I'm like,
Nah,
and I'm telling you, all of the heartbreak was over Oregon Trail.
that's
I
crazy.
We got a simulation a few years ago for the kids to play, and my son was like, "This, this was the highlight." I was like, "It
Yeah,
was gold."
yeah,
Timmy
because
died
we
of
didn't have
cholera.
anything
Like,
like that. Yeah, that and just like just if you like the evolution of video of gaming to the point that now you play games where people really look like people. We're talking about 8-bit, before 8-bit. We're talking about really simple games like Pong,
yep.
and then Frogger, and then you have like Nintendo and then Genesis and all this stuff. And then everything's on a CD and you got Sims and whatnot. And it's just like indistinguishable because we are Sims ourselves. We definitely are, because the way people act, I'm like, that's an NPC over there, man. You're definitely an NPC. Um, that's how you feel at a party, you know? That's why people say that like they hate small talk. But I also think those people just don't really like talking to people and they can't admit that. Just say I don't really like talking to people. Don't make it about people, man. Because I excel in those situations. You know, I'm like, oh, for real? Now all I gotta do is do something slightly different what people normally do at parties, which is ask a question that's not basic. Something that someone will walk away and be like, yeah, I'll never forget that time you asked me about why I was happy, what you're excited about. That's a simple question that you ask somebody at a party. It gives a person a time to actually think and like go in their mind and find something, draw out something that they actually, you just energized, you just gave a person a boost. And then you heard them and you listened.
Right.
And then like they felt like at a party. These aren't hard things to do.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
But
It's,
again, that's just the way I think.
I think that's, I think that's reframing small talk.
Yes, it's a big reframe.
Yeah, because like when because I will be the first to tell you I hate small
Mm-hmm.
talk because it's
Mm-hmm.
usually like we're gonna talk about the weather and stuff, and I'm like, I don't care. I do not care. If we're not going to talk about something,
Mm-hmm.
then I don't want to be here. Like I
But you
can't.
got to get there though. That's the other thing. Like, cause people, I see people say like, "Oh, yeah, we're not having." I'm like, "Yeah, but yeah, you just don't jump into a real deep conversation about psychology without the prompt to get into it." You know
That's
what I
the
mean? Like,
problem. Like I want to just jump in.
nah, it's not fun.
I want to be that person who just walks up to you with
It's not
like,
how it works.
I know, I know,
It's just not how it works.
and
But yo, it's just like learning these skills and stuff and knowing that you're gonna get to that, you
yeah,
know, to be excited about those possibilities or just to be open. I think also to not be thinking too big. Cause like we always complain about the internet and all these things and lack of connection. It's like now you have an opportunity to connect with another human being. That's kind of how I look at it.
yeah,
And you don't have to stay there. You can walk the fuck away. You can excuse yourself and go get a drink or something. You know what I mean? You can have somebody call you at 8:15, like they do in the movies, to
right,
save you from this terrible conversation that you're having. So there are ways to, you know, but again, that's another thing. Like there's so many things people are not aware that they can do, and they have not fully formed, like just being themselves in the space, choosing to leave. Irish goodbye. You ain't got to say goodbye to everybody in here because it's just not practical. If
right,
I know 100 people in the venue, I'm not going to stop. I'll never get home.
exactly.
Irish goodbye, goodbye.
Yep.
You know
And
what I mean? You make sure you lean into those people that you really, really care about. All the new people you see them from a distance. You go like, hey,
uh-huh.
and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And you remember that you don't owe everything to everybody.
No.
Like that's and I think that's like where my problem usually is. Like I
Mm-hmm.
am the person who gets trapped in the conversation that I don't want to be in because I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
to end it because I feel bad
Yeah.
and I feel like I shouldn't be like, oh, I gotta go.
I've
Um,
been there. I've been
so
there. I know exactly what you're saying.
my husband knows, like I have wonderful neighbors. They are talkers.
They're
And
not
if
going to watch this, are they?
oh no,
I'm joking.
But they they will catch me. Like sometimes I will
Yeah.
just strategically wait until they're back inside their house because they'll
Right.
catch me. And I'll
Right.
be there for like an hour. So my husband
Right.
knows that if he's home and he knows I've been caught, he's
He's gonna
calling
pop
me
out.
on the phone or
Yeah.
comes out and is like,
That's
what you got?
real.
Yeah, you left something on the stove, remember? And I'm like, oh, that's right, I gotta go.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, you definitely have to build, again, you have to build a system so that can, so you, because at the end of the day, you can't be like walking on eggshells, hoping not to see your neighbor.
Right.
So you're gonna have to build up some defense for when you see him, like, hey, good to see you, gotta run, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
get used to it. It's just kind of like the learning to say no. You know
exactly.
what I mean? Which a lot of people struggle with. But here's the thing about saying no. When you get really good at saying no, your yeses become incredible. They do. Just
Mhm.
giving. There's so much power in the no. And not no to shut
Yeah.
a thing down, but no to give yourself space, no to
Right.
take ownership and reclaim your time. Like that saying that no shit is really big. But when
Yeah.
you start to say yes, that's a whole nother lane of like, okay, now we're going to lean into an abundant life and all these wonderful things that can come because I've done the work to say no and to be sure of myself and what I'm saying to people in all environments. Again, that's all this is like, it's that life stuff. You learn it, you know, another year passes, you learn it. You want to be better or you don't want to experience the suffering or the detriment and whatnot. And you recognize the only way to change that is for me to change the way that I'm, you know, engaged in the world, you know.
Mhm.
But
And
like
we,
it's terrible to like be like, oh man, I want to go outside. Look who's out
oh yeah, yeah,
there.
it's bad. It's
Yeah.
bad. I'm working on it. But like this is also like as I'm working on it,
Hmm.
kids work on it because I'm like, I don't want
Yeah.
you to wait until you're in your
Right.
be able to figure this out. I want you to
Right.
be able to have it from the get-go. I
Right.
want you
In
to be
real
able,
time.
yeah,
In real time. And then also giving them, that's the other thing. Like we're of an age that certain people's taught us certain stuff. First of all, we children are the most not respected and not listened to beings on the planet. You know, there's
yeah,
things you can do to children. If you did them to an adult, you go to prison. So I have issues with that and understanding how we were told to either be quiet or this is not your place, allowing children to engage and giving these kids tools early to be like, nah, fam, don't touch me. I'm not kissing grandma. She's,
yes,
you know what I mean? Like these things matter. You know what I mean? Like I can only imagine how that's ill affected so many of us. And I've seen different things. I mean, just in terms of like not letting, I can see it through family, like not letting a person speak or telling them they talk too much, they talk too loud and all this stuff. And you see how as an adult, you know, that throat chakra is not, it's not beaming the way it needs to be. They're not speaking, they're not pronounced. Sometimes even their language is a little bit muted or they don't articulate well because they've been told from early to
yep,
shut your mouth, don't talk.
uh-huh.
So being
You're
able
you're not
early to
heard.
impart that with your kids, like that's such a beautiful thing, is a wonderful thing. Because what you're doing is, I'm not going to teach you what I taught, what I was taught, or what, you know, and it's not a lot of times it's not even on purpose, but it doesn't matter. We know better.
Exactly.
We know better and we have youth and you don't have to have also you don't have to have children to be this example. I
Right.
think I do a lot of mentorship because I realize that, you know, I'm not going to have kids. Like the ship sailed, that's not a thing. But I can still behave a certain way with youth because it's necessary. And I think that's all any elder's responsibility is, to be a better human in front of these kids. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Even if it's not your child, even if it's like that care is enough to change a life. You know what I mean? Even when we don't think so. You know, oh, I just taught this class, the kids weren't paying attention. I don't think anything I did mattered. No, that kid will never forget that some stranger came to their school and talked to them, even if they were terrible to you. They're gonna remember it because they'll see you in the street a year later and be like, "Oh, that was such and such, Miss Susie. She came and the class was crazy, but she stuck it in with us because those
Yep.
things matter. They matter
Yep.
so much, you know."
They cared about us as human
Hmm.
beings and
Yeah,
they stayed. Like that's
yeah.
powerful.
It's
Absolutely.
very powerful. It's real. It's real. It's real.
Absolutely. Well, I part of me really does not want to stop talking, but the other part of me knows that I do have work to do today.
Yes, yes,
But
yes, yes, yes.
this has been so wonderful.
Well,
Um,
thank you for having me in general.
thank-
Like, I appreciate being able to have a conversation.
absolutely.
We use the internet and we got on a call. Imagine that.
Right? We use technology for community to talk to people,
Hmm.
and I
Hmm.
love it. And this is, people complain about social media all the time, but I'm like, I put out a thread
Okay.
saying I would like people to interview, and you
Saw
responded
it. I saw
with
it
no,
immediately. I was like, listen, I need something. You know,
yeah,
people just assume that I'm getting all this connection and whatnot. I'm like, man, no, that's the other thing that you learn. No one is in a rush to interview me, even though I know what I'm talking about. I mean, I've been interviewing people for so long, like 20 years. So shit, we had one show, we had like 1,000 episodes. That was like a morning show. That's 6 years worth of work. Not to mention online, offline, paper print, and all that stuff. So I've been talking to people for the longest. So it's like second nature to me. And for every artist that's watching this, I would just implore you to like really focus on your communication if not only for yourself and your communication with human beings, but like it really helps your artist practice. Uh, just learning how to talk about your art, learning how to navigate conversation with regards to just the art world and all the other things that are connected, but in a way where like it's enjoyable. You know what I mean? And like you let people in. Just communicating with humans. You're better off. You're really better off, you know, if you can do that. It's
Abs-
definitely beneficial. It helps. It helps a lot. You know, it's beyond trying to sell a piece of work, but making a genuine connection with a human being that may be life altering and changing for them, just simply because you learn how to listen, pay attention, and you show that you're interested in conversation.
Absolutely. I could not agree more. And no matter how scary it is, just you got to do it. And it
Yeah,
gets less scary the more you do it.
yeah, yeah.
And
Find joy in it. Make it an exciting thing for you.
exactly.
I look forward to it because I don't know what you're going to ask me. I look forward to
I
talking.
don't either. That's like I'm never prepared. I'm like, we're just gonna start and we're gonna talk and it'll be
Yep.
fine. I think
Yep.
that's better. But yes, so definitely send us the links. I saw you put your website
Mhm.
in the chat.
Mhm.
Definitely send me the links for the organization in Kenya.
Oh, yeah, yeah, all of that. I'll send
Yeah,
you
and I'll put
everything. We'll
all of
follow
that
up.
included in the description box for this is
Definitely. Thank
YouTube,
you.
and
Right.
we'll have all of your information there. So I hope as
Mhm.
artists watch this, they
Right.
find you on Instagram, on Threads,
Right. And
everywhere.
then and if you're
And
watching this, you can definitely slide in a DM if you have questions, if you want to collaborate, if you want to know more, if you want to see some art. I'm just very open for communication, and I'm always looking to connect people who are in earnest doing the work to other people who are as doing it as well. You know, so like there might be an art opportunity, or there might just be a connection that needs to be made, state to state, country to country, continent to continent. So like that is always in the back of my mind. Like who stood out to me, and if an opportunity comes that makes perfect sense for that person, I'm immediately in their inbox. You know, like yo, check this shit out, take advantage, go get that art money.
I love
You
that.
know,
That's
I want you to thrive.
Victor.
Yeah.
Love it. Well, thank you again so much. I'm really excited to continue to get to know you and engage with your work and everything. And yeah, this was beautiful.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you very much. So, and shout out to everybody in the Nexus community. It's wonderful that you want to connect, even if you're just watching. That matters. It matters so much. Let's continue to do these things and also show people that it can be done.
Absolutely love it. Well, have a beautiful day, and I will
I
see you.
shall. I
Okay,
promise you. I promise you. I'm gonna go do something. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I'm gonna do something remarkable today.
love it. I will be on the lookout. Okay, thanks a
Thank
minute.
you.
Thanks again so much. Have a great day.
You too.